guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor, and today is going to be a crochet and chat, and it's going to operate much more like a rant. I have had one of like a week from absolute hell, and I'm going to tell you about it because I know that my experiences are not I know that I'm not the only one who's ever had these experiences, so I'm gonna put them out into the ether on the internet so that other people don't feel so alone, because it's wild from start to finish. This is also probably gonna operate a little bit like a story time, so if you like sitting and yapping and gossiping, also if you like the fiber arts, grab your project, grab a drink, and let's just settle in for a little bit. So I have a day job. I'm a marketing coordinator, and I love it very, very much. I really like my job. I work it Monday through Friday, and then I do this on the side, and right now is our trade show season. It is very, it's very busy right now, which is why my uploads have been a little bit more sporadic. And because of these trade shows, I unfortunately have to deal with quite a bit of sexism because the industry that I work in is a lot of old white men, mostly. There are more women, coming in, but still it is very much like a boys' club type of thing. I am the only one from the company who does these shows. So I'm out alone in the world, and I'm always very safe. I really don't stray too far from the hotel. I don't go out at night. I don't, I'm very safe when I'm at these shows. But you know what I'm not safe from? The people who are at the shows. So last year when I was in New Jersey, a gentleman approached me, and he was talking to me, and it was his demeanor and the way he was talking to me made me really uncomfortable, and I kind of brushed it off. He took a business card and left, and a couple hours later he comes back and he goes, "Why didn't you answer me?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, I tried texting the phone number on your business card, and it nothing ever happened." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's because you can't text that number." And he's like, "Well, how can I contact you then?" And I was like, "My email's on there." He's like, "No, I want to text you. I want to take you out." I was like, "I have a boyfriend." And he boxed me into my own booth and basically made me give him my phone number. And it was very awkward. It was very frustrating for me. And I told him I had a boyfriend, and he just didn't care. And then he proceeded to text me a couple times, and I just kind of left it at that. So then this year, this same gentleman is at the show, and he comes up to my booth, and he's like, "Oh, so are you married yet?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, last year you said you were engaged." And I was like, "Yeah, I probably said that to get you off my back." In my head, I said that. And I was like, Nope, just me, myself, and I now. And he was like, "Okay, well, we need to hang out then." And I was like, Mind you, this is a 40-year-old man. This is not, this man is much older than me. This man is more in, my parents' age bracket, because my parents are in their mid-40s. So, that freaks me out. So he was like, "Let me get your number." And I was like, "Oh, well, if it's meant to be, you can just find me at the cocktail party tonight." And he proceeds to, then box me in again at the cocktail party, and basically makes me sit with him for a while. And once his coworker leaves, because, in a group setting, not so bad, but once his coworker leaves, he, sits closer to me and starts making a bunch of comments about my body and all this stuff. And I was like, "Hey, you can't really, make these comments to me when I'm, working. It's really not appropriate." And he was like, "Well, you have to understand, I'm shooting my shot here. I don't know if I'll never see you again." And I was like, okay. And he was like, well, and last year it really hurt my feelings that, like, you never got back to me. And I was like, I literally had a boyfriend. He's like, yeah, but, like, you can't blame a guy for trying. And I was like, yeah, but that's not fair. He's like, well, you were being loyal, you know, but, you know, you could have. And I'm like, that's really gross that you would think that I would do that or, like, expect that of me. And so, you know, we're sitting there and we're talking, and I was like, yeah, like, freaks me out that you're, like, 40 hitting on me, like, you're kind of my parents' age. Like, my nuclear family dynamic is great, but it's, like, kind of unconventional. And so I, like, told him a little bit more about that, and it's just not something I'm comfortable sharing on the internet, which is, you know, neither here nor there. Maybe one day. But he made a comment to me that absolutely, like, put me into tears, and then tried to gaslight me into, he's like, well, you're the one who's reacting to what I said, and, like, you're saying that I said this, and I didn't say that, and he's like, you're emotional and nutty, and, like, all this stuff was just so mean to me, and I was just, like, so beside myself with the way this man treated me. So I was talking also a little bit about, you know, me and my ex broke up, and I was like, yeah, you know, it just didn't work out. He was like, I've talked about it on my channel. My ex was an alcoholic, and he was, like, really, really mean to me. He was not a good partner in any sense of the word. And he was like, yeah, well, like, if you are as amazing as you say you are, like, are you a prude? Like, will you not put out? Like, did you not do his laundry? Like, he's like, well, because there's just, like, no reason that he should have treated you like that then. Basically telling me that, like, it's somehow my fault that I didn't do something for my ex that made them treat me that way. And that was, like, so many things that this man said to me were so, like, degrading. And then he's, like, trying to be like, well, you know, like, I'm just trying to get to know you. I'm just trying to get to know you. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, you're mean. You're very, 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 very mean. And, like, I just had such a bad time because of this man, and it makes me so angry. Well, so then I get an Uber home. There was a hotel where the show was happening, and then I was staying at a different hotel. And so I get into my Uber, and I immediately start bawling. I am just, like, so beside myself. I have not been treated with such callous in a long time, and it, like, really, really, really triggered me. I just, like, being talked down to in that way, being, like, infantilized also. Like, he just thought it was, like, so cool that I was 26, and he was like, well, yeah, like, I would love to, like, take you up to my room and have sex with you, and da-da-da, and I'm just like, why is this happening? Like, I was so beside myself, like, disgusted by this man's behavior, and I was worried about what would happen if I rejected him. I didn't know if he was going to hurt me, because, like, what am I supposed to expect? I'm not there with any, like, coworkers or anything like that. Like, we have a broker and stuff, but, like, this guy, like, kind of got to me before that happened, and, like, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I was scared. So I just, you know, tried to play safe, you know, and, you know, it's hard. There's no right or wrong way to go about it, because, you know, people can be like, well, you know, you just gotta tell that asshole to, you know, shove it in. It's like, yeah, you can say that, but until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react, and sometimes it's a lot more complicated. It's a scary situation to be in when you don't know how somebody will take your rejection, especially when, you know, I had already rejected this gentleman before, and, you know, he clearly only saw me as something to, in a way, conquer. And, like, that feels weird, and, like, I didn't like that. That wasn't fun, you know. Nobody wants to feel that way. So I get in the Uber, and I just start bawling. And the Uber driver proceeds to basically tell me that it's my fault. Because I was just like, yeah, this man was, like, harassing me, and it, like, really makes me feel unsafe, but, like, I don't know how he's going to react if I do, like, reject him in some way, shape, or form. Like, I'm nervous and all this stuff. And he was like, you realize that men don't do that, right? Like, they don't hurt women when they reject them. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. But so by this point, I'm just like so beaten down in a way. I just like don't even say anything. He's like, I'm gonna teach my daughters. Like, I have a daughter and I'm gonna teach her to like tell men to fucking kick rocks. Da da da. And I'm like, okay. You know, whatever. So show goes on the next day. All of a sudden, this gentleman who's around my age starts talking to me from another booth. And I was like, oh, hi. And like, you know, we're just chit-chatting and we exchange numbers and he texts me. And I thought we had like kind of good rapport and a little bit of a flirty vibe. So we're texting. We're flirting. Sorry, I haven't been honest with you. Like, I have a girlfriend, but it's really complicated. And I just, like, I wanted to cry in that moment. Not because of this man in particular. Like, I didn't know him that well. Like, obviously, that is not the thing to, like, cry over. It's the lack of, like, empathy that I've seen in people recently is, like, so jarring. And I'm just like, what does that mean? And they were like, well, I don't really want to, like, talk to you about it. I'm like, then why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me? What do you want with me? Well, I just thought you were really cute, and, like, I saw you at the other trade shows, and blah, 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 blah. You have a girlfriend at home waiting for you. So that was, like, annoying, but then, so I had to stay the night in Philadelphia, because Atlantic City has a regional airport, but it's not, it only has like one flight in and out a day, and so it's just easier to drive there. Drive from Philly to Atlantic City. And so I booked a hotel so that I wouldn't have to stay overnight in the Philly airport, because I did that one time. It was not fun. But honestly, based on the lines at 4 a.m., maybe I should do that, because, oh my god, that was horrible too. Anyway, I get to my hotel, and I'm talking with the concierge, or not the concierge, the front desk person. We're just chatting, checking me in, and DoorDash driver comes in and he goes, "You're from Minnesota, aren't you?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Your accent." And I was like, "Oh, haha. Yeah, it's funny. Like, nobody's ever really, like, said that before, because people don't, they don't point out my accent very often. I've most of the time been told that I speak pretty clearly, but it's like a vowels thing. In Minnesota, they say, we hold out our O's, and I think our E's. So, like, we just long vowels. And so he asked, you know, then he asked the front desk person, can I take this pizza to the room, or do I leave it at the front desk? Because some hotels have different policies for DoorDash drivers. Totally fine, you know. Alright, so then I finish my checking in process. I walk to my room. I close the door, and immediately check the peephole. It's the DoorDash driver. So I open the door. Hey! Hi! I just thought you were really cute, and I saw you walk into your room, so I thought I'd come say hi and shoot my shot. He was like, yeah, you probably think that this is kind of creepy. I'm like, it is. It absolutely is. It's very creepy. Like, you followed me to my room. And he was like, no, I was just dropping off the order, and, like, I saw you walk in. And I'm like, so I'm trying to placate this man, because you never know how they're going to act, and now this man knows what hotel room I'm staying in. Honestly, I should have gone to the front desk and been like, hi, that DoorDash driver followed me. So, I need a different room. But I was so exhausted at that point. Like, I'm just, I guess the point of this video is, like, why do you have to shoot your shot? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh my god. Leave me alone. Don't try and hit on me when I'm at work. Obviously, there are certain circumstances that you can approach a woman. There are so many in this world. Why do you have to hit on me when I'm at work, when I'm working, when I'm trying to, like, do business deals and, like, all this stuff? I know that sounds really vague, but, like, I'm working. And then why, when I am like supposed to be in like a safe space, I'm at a hotel to sleep, why then? Like, I'm in my room. I am not open for public business. I am in my room. What made you think that that was like okay? I am just like, I'm beside myself by like the behavior of the people around me right now. And it's all men, and it's so hard because it's not all men, but gosh darn, is it a lot of men? And it's a lot of men in very quick succession, and now I have to go to Cleveland for work. And I'm just like, I'm not looking forward to it when, like, I really like my job a lot, and I've liked going to these shows in years past, and there's always been, like, you know, a bit of, like, sexism and, like, people telling me that, like, I look too young to be, like, doing this job and, like, all this stuff, but, like, I'm just really sick of it all the time. So, like, I don't understand why, you know, all this, I don't understand why people have to act that way. And the reason I share this on the internet, because this could be probably classified as oversharing, but I just, like, I want other people to know that, like, it's okay if you don't know what to do when people, like, approach you or, you know, make you uncomfortable. Because what I think is not fair is, like, making the person who was, like, pursued feel bad in some way. Like, that's not very fair. Makes them, like, I've never felt more objectified in my life than I have this week. And, like, obviously there have been times in my life, but having it compounded so close together is, like, it's not fun. And it's not normal. And I know that it's not normal. And, you know, I'm a big girl and I will be fine, but I know not everybody, you know, feels that way, and it might impact other people more deeply, and I just want you to know that, like, those guys are jerks, and it is hard, and you have to do what you can to protect yourself in whatever way that feels in the moment, because people who aren't in those situations are going to be the ones to be like, well, you should have just told him to fuck off. You weren't there. And, you know, and it's much different when you have, like, your friends with you on a night out, or even just anybody with you. But when you're alone, it's really difficult. Men are on my shit list this week. Misogynists who think that a woman just exists for, you know, them to hit on are on my shit list. I'm hoping things will get better. This next trade show is my last one for 2 weeks, and next weekend I'm going to the Ren Fair with one of my best friends, and I'm super, super excited. I unfortunately cannot find anything to wear. I've got a white skirt, and I don't know what I'm going to wear as a top, but it'll probably be hot. I yearn for the fall weather. I yearn for it, but it is not coming, sadly. I think we got another week of this heat, and then hopefully temperatures will finally drop. But let me know what you guys think of this video. I don't know. I just think this is where I'm going to end the video. I am all worked up now, and I think I need to cool down for a bit. It's so uncomfortably hot in my apartment, so I need to start the AC again, but the AC is really loud, so I had to, like, stop it for filming and stuff. Leave a comment down below, like the video, please, and subscribe to the channel for hopefully less angry content like this. Once things slow down at my day job, I will be here making stuff for you guys, more tutorials, hopefully more vlogs, more sit-down style videos. I want to be posting and doing stuff, but, you know, day job has to come first since it pays the rent, you know? So, yeah. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.